Yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Huntress, issue number 3 of 6. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, I'm going to try not to give too much away about issue number 3, because what plot we do give in here is not quite as much as you would think. This is more of an action-based issue. So, like I said, I don't want to give too much of the actual plot away. But the basic idea is similar to the previous issues where Huntress is trying to track down who's in control of this big slavery woman ring. People are taking these women, these young girls, and putting them into basically forced labor and slavery for whatever purposes they want to use them for. And Huntress has gone to Rome, Italy, to actually stop this. Issue number 3 deals a little bit more of that. We got a little bit of who is really behind all that is going down, and we have a big throwdown between Huntress and some of his men at the Colosseum. So that's basically all I'm going to tell you about the actual plot, because like I said, I don't want to give too much away what there is to give. So let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, Huntress feels very much in character, and she has some pretty nice moments in this. My particular favorite moment is where she has kind of a standoff with a guy, and to have like a little shootout. Her with her crossbow and him with his gun, and he goes to reach for his gun, and she hits him before he even gets it up. And she says, "Wow, that's pretty good. Some people don't even get out of the holster." Classic Huntress kind of dialogue. So Huntress is in character here. In addition to that, the art is gorgeous as it was in the previous 2 issues. The action in this is actually really good, particularly towards the end where Huntress fights this big guy who I believe calls himself Lion, but I forget. Anyways, he really pushes Huntress to her limit and forces her to think rather than just shoot or punch, which is, I think, the best quality of members of the Batman family, is that they actually think their way through and strategize and use their skill rather than just punch, kick, and use superpowers, which some of them do have, but not all of them. So action is good. Bad. Well, like with some of the previous issues, the story is just so uninteresting and feels so cliche. Huntress going to take down a slavery ring? The slavery ring is women? It's just a story that I felt as though has been told before with Huntress, and it's just too safe of a story. It's not that it's necessarily a bad story, but it's just so uninteresting that I don't even know any of the characters' names other than Huntress. The detective that's helping her out, the honcho that's in charge, the underlings that he has. That's not really paying attention. And it feels like I'm going through the motions with this, which is painful because I love Huntress. And I feel as though there is a good story in here. And I feel as though that these are good writers and a good artist and a good creative team. It's just not working for me. So whether or not you should get it. Well, despite what I just said, issue number 3 is better than issue number 1 and 2. But better is only in terms of how bad issue number 1 and 2 were. I'm going to give this a solid 2.5 out of 5 stars. Mediocre. It has high points, but the low points are definitely present. I think what really makes this comic better than the previous issues is the fact that we do get a lot of action, and action is good. And the story progresses. Second issue felt as though the story didn't progress that much. So when it comes down to getting Huntress, I'd probably recommend avoiding it. Sorry. Again, I feel as though these guys can write and tell a story. It's just, it would have been better if Huntress was going around and fighting a classic supervillain. I felt as though the mafia, bad guys, rich, suave, Godfather kind of angle has been done before. Take for point, Long Halloween. There you go. Took a random story and just threw it at you. Nightwing, mobbed up. Stories like this have been done before. Half a Catwoman series is just her protecting prostitutes from bad men. It would have been better if they had her fight some kind of supervillain. I know it would have been cliche, but it would have been a little less cliche than this. So, Huntress issue number 3, probably best to avoid it. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.